Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City of Greensboro will be on the receiving end of more than $10 million in federal funds thanks to the efforts of Congresswoman Kathy Manning and U.S. Senator Thom Tillis. The federal grant dollars will support the following city projects. More than $3 million for the city's bus facilities program for buses, bus facilities, and bus equipment. $3 million to replace the computer-aided dispatch system in order to better equip Guilford Metro 911 to manage incoming emergency calls. The Greensboro Innovation District will be allocated $3 million. This is a designated area of the city designed to attract new business and create high-paying jobs. $1.6 million will go toward workforce development initiatives, including technology and support services. Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn said Congresswoman Kathy Manning and U.S. Senator Thom Tillis played a key role in helping deliver this much-needed funding that will enhance what we can offer our community. This $10 million will go directly to funding public transportation, public safety, and helping our workforce right here in the Gate City. The Stephen Tanger Center for the Performing Arts will present Hamilton from April 6th through April 24th. The tickets are on sale now, but there are some things to consider before purchasing tickets. Most tickets will not exceed $249 plus applicable fees, with a select number of premium seats available for each performance. Beware, numerous third-party brokers are advertising tickets at much higher prices, but they do not actually have tickets. The only official and authorized primary sellers of Hamilton tickets include TangerCenter.com, Ticketmaster.com, the Tanger Center Ticket Office, and the Greensboro Coliseum Box Office. If tickets are listed for hundreds or thousands of dollars, they are probably from a third-party broker, and there is no guarantee these tickets are genuine. While it's legal to resell tickets in North Carolina, tickets purchased from other sources may be more expensive, invalid, speculative, or ineligible for assistance. Also, beware of bogus Facebook event pages or tickets for general admission or zones. Hamilton tickets at Tanger Center are in reserved seat locations, so a general admission ticket would not grant you entry to the show. Typing Hamilton Greensboro in a search engine does not necessarily garner legitimate results. Be sure to access TangerCenter.com or Ticketmaster.com to be sure you are buying from an authorized source. For questions and concerns, please send an email to the Tanger Center staff. Greensboro's Department of Transportation, on behalf of the Greensboro Urban Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, has updated its public participation plan and Title VI non-discrimination policy. Residents have an opportunity to review and submit comments on the updated MPO Title VI plan by Wednesday, April 13th, and the public participation plan by Thursday, April 28th. The plans are available on the MPO's website. Comments may be submitted online or via email. The updated plans will be considered for adoption by the MPO's Technical Advisory Committee at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, May 11th. The meeting will be held virtually. For more information about the meeting, please visit the website or call Tram Truong at 336-373-2903. The city developed a partnership with Cone Health to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Today I want to talk about having a healthy knee so we can enjoy life with the less wear and tear we can have on our knees in order to be able to be as active as possible and pain-free. I'm Dr. Chris Blackman. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in Greensboro, North Carolina with Piedmont Orthopedics, affiliated with Cone Health Medical Group. Say you're a young person that's getting into aerobic activities, they're wanting to maintain that healthy lifestyle for years to come. There are things that you can do to make sure that your knee doesn't experience significant wear and tear over a short period of time. Low impact aerobic activities, recumbent bike, swimming, elliptical, those types of things can help. If you're going to use a treadmill, put your treadmill at just an even level. Don't put it at a big incline. That puts more stress on the knees and can have detrimental effects on the cartilage around the knee and around the patellofemoral joint, and that can cause worsening pain. If someone is daily having knee pain and a stiff, achy knee, there's a lot of things that they can do to ease that pain and to get feeling better. One is just working on stretching and not stay in the same position all day with their knee bent. They can work on stretching the quad muscles, the muscles around the knee that help support the knee is very effective with decreasing stiffness. There are medications that people can try, such as any kind of anti-inflammatories that help take down inflammation around a joint. Obviously, exercise is important as well. Anything that we can do to exercise the muscles around the knee can decrease our stiffness in our joints. One is what's called straight leg raises. Sitting with your back supported in a chair or laying flat in the bed and keeping your knees straight and then just lifting straight up in a controlled motion. Lunges is another good exercise, but not lunging all the way with your knees to the ground, bending your knees. It's only about halfway down. Those types of activities will help quite a bit on maintaining a strength and integrity of the muscles around the knee. If someone is already experiencing knee pain and, for instance, they're already participating in a lot of higher impact aerobic activities, they should actually take some time away from that activity to rest their knees. This is not a no pain, no gain when it comes to joints. It's listening to your body, and if you're hurting, back off. We're often asked, Doc, am I going to need a knee replacement? Is my knee that bad? Is the cartilage that worn? And that's where we go through a system of systematically looking at x-rays, examining the knee. If someone has continuous swelling on the knee where we're having to drain fluid off the knee, the thoughts are, hey, is their cartilage wearing down? That's where an x-ray is important. A standing x-ray looking at how someone is loading their joint in real time. An x-ray can show us what the alignment of the knee is their joint space remaining, and we can start getting an idea of what the cartilage looks like with an x-ray. However, if a knee is shown to have complete loss of cartilage, when we look at on x-rays, we can tell, then that's where someone may consider something like a knee replacement, because a knee replacement is for helping someone improve their mobility, decrease their pain, and hopefully improve their quality of life once they get to that point where all else has failed, pain is daily, mobility is diminished, quality of life is diminished. That's when it's time to consider something like a joint replacement surgery. For more information, please go to our website and check out conehealth.com/orthopedics. Thank you.
A waterline rehabilitation project is causing lane closures on several city streets, and Human Rights will host meetings for 2 of its committees. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The city's Ad Hoc Committee on African American Disparity will hold a virtual meeting at 6 p.m. on Thursday, March 24th. Participants and the public can join the meeting via Zoom using meeting ID 915-1305-6243. Attendees can also join the meeting by phone by dialing 301-715-8592. City Council approved the establishment of the committee in October 2020. The primary objective is to address barriers that prevent success for African American residents in Greensboro by way of policies, procedures, and regulations. Members of the Ad Hoc Committee on African American Disparity research policy and procedures, obtain community feedback, and make recommendations to City Council regarding ways to improve resource access for African Americans in the city. Also on the meeting calendar, the Commission on the Status of Women will host its next monthly meeting at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March 29th. Participants and the public can join the meeting via Zoom using meeting ID 868-9224-9073. Attendees can also join the meeting by phone by dialing 929-205-6099. The mission of the Commission on the Status of Women is to improve the quality of life for women in Greensboro. Drivers in Greensboro will encounter occasional lane closures and delays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. through Wednesday, August 31st due to a water line rehabilitation project. Crews are working in the following areas: Lincoln Street from East Gate City Boulevard to Gorell Street, Duke Street from Douglas Street to Gorell Street, Gorell Street from South O. Henry Boulevard to Lincoln Street, South O. Henry Boulevard from Gorell Street to McConnell Road, McConnell Road from East Washington Street to South English Street, and Gillespie Street from East Market Street to McConnell Road. Directional signage and traffic cones are in place, and motorists are encouraged to use alternate routes to avoid the area. Dates and times may change due to weather or last-minute changes in the work schedule. The water rehabilitation program is funded by water and sewer rates. For more information, call the 24-hour emergency number at 336-402-5253. Kids and teens ages 10 to 18 are invited to use their voices to write and perform poetry. The poems will focus on social justice topics such as race, gender identity, immigrant status, reentry, and the impact of criminal records. This is part of a program called Voices of Change. This is a partnership with the Poetry Project and the City of Greensboro's Human Rights Department. Participants will meet on Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Experience at Call Clue located at 1700 Orchard Street. Sessions will take place on April 6th, May 4th, and June 21st. There will be a final session at Revolution Mill on June 29th. The workshops will bring the kids together with members of the various boards and commissions and task forces that fall under the Human Rights Department. The goal is to allow the group to engage in thoughtful conversations and have an opportunity to ask questions about the various human rights topics. Register for the Voices of Change via email. It's that time of the year for seniors in Guilford County schools to start thinking about college scholarships. Coming up after the break, find out how Say Yes Guilford is making the most of March Madness. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. March Madness is not only for college basketball. Say Yes Guilford has its own version of March Madness to support local high school seniors. Joining me now to talk about the annual scholarship registration contest is Brandy Kennedy. She is the Director of Student Outreach and Post-Secondary Access. Hello, Brandy. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us about the March Madness competition, Say Yes Guilford style.
Yes, so much as you mentioned, it will mirror the basketball bracket style competition. So all of the 28 public GCS high schools will compete against one another to boost their Say Yes registration week by week.
Okay, well that sounds exciting, and I guess when you can connect it to something that's already very popular, you can get more students involved. Now, when do you plan to announce the winner?
Yes, so we will be announcing the winner on Monday, April 4th. So we are excited to get ready to announce our winner, and this has been going on for 3 years now, so we'll have our third annual March Madness winner.
Okay, well that sounds exciting. You've got 28 schools vying for these scholarships, so that's a lot of work for you. What do the seniors need to know about getting registered for this very valuable opportunity?
Yeah, so it's important for them to know that registration is open. It opened October 1st and will continue for GCS seniors through June 1st. So make sure that you all complete your applications. It's a quick, simple process. If you visit sayyesguilford.org, and you can submit your application there by June 1st.
Okay, that sounds simple enough. Now, are you offering any workshops to help families and to help them prepare their students for what's coming up after high school?
Absolutely. So on April 14th from 6 to 7 p.m., we'll be hosting a collaborative event with the College Foundation of North Carolina and Guilford County Schools about preparing for the transition to college. So it's a perfect opportunity for students and parents to tune in and hear more about how they need to prepare for their next steps.
Okay, it's always great to have resources because sometimes that can be very daunting, and if you just have a little bit of insight on what to expect, it makes it a little easier. Now, what kind of programs do you have coming up? I know Say Yes always has a full calendar. Give us some examples of what you're planning.
So we are, of course, planning the virtual webinar that I just talked about, but we're also looking forward to celebrating our GCS graduates in various ways. So encouraging them to announce their college decisions or their post-secondary plans. And so just stay tuned for April 14th. If you all visit sayyesguilford.org/events, you all will be able to see our upcoming events and offerings.
Okay, that's exciting. And just curious, you've been doing this now for 3 years, you said. What do you get in terms of reaction from families or just the students with respect to the impact that Say Yes Guilford is making?
Yeah, so we are excited to continue to graduate students from not only GCS but also from their respective colleges and universities. And so we're always happy to hear from our scholars about how Say Yes supported them and help lessen the financial burden that they were experiencing for college.
Okay, well, I love everything that you do at Say Yes Guilford. Thank you so much for taking the time to promote the March Madness. It sounds like fun and it's exciting. We are eager to hear who the winners are. And of course, we're always inspired by Say Yes and the work you do. Do come back and let us know other programs you have.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Don't miss the Her Story series at the Greensboro Public Library during Women's History Month. Felicia Brown, founder of Balance Day Spa and one of 19 authors featured in Scars to Stars, stories of vulnerability, resilience, and overcoming adversity, will be featured at 5 p.m. on Friday, March 25th at Central Library. Scars to Stars centers on suicide prevention. Learn about North Carolina-born comedian Moms Mabley with historian and UNCG professor Dr. Tara Green at 2 p.m. on Saturday, March 26th at the Hemp Hill Branch Library on West Vandalia Road. Last but not least, the city's Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer, Maria Hicks-Few, will discuss her book, From Cocoon to Butterfly, The Story of a Warrior. At 5 p.m. on Friday, April 1st at Central Library, Hicks-Few will share reflections on balancing family, career, and caretaking, all while battling breast cancer. These Women's History Month events are free and open to the public. For more information about library events and resources, visit the library's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, let's meet our neighbors who boomeranged back to Greensboro.
My name's Ryan Deal. I work for the City of Greensboro, leading the Office of Arts and Culture, Creative Greensboro. So we chose a house in New Irving Park for a few reasons. The lot sizes are really great. We have several dogs, 3 to be exact, and so it was important to us that we had a nice big backyard. This one happened to be fenced in. Almost anywhere that you select in Greensboro, we found we could be most anywhere within 10 to 15 minutes. And so the convenience factor was there for us, but the size home and the size lot, and the neighborhood is super walkable. We love getting out and walking around from neighborhood to neighborhood in the early evenings especially.
My name's Alejandra Thompson and I work at Thompson Traders. So I moved back from New York City and I didn't intentionally move back at first. I moved back during the pandemic in March of 2020. And then once I got here and I saw how great life was, I decided to stay. I love so many things about New Irving Park, my new neighborhood. The best one is that I have family nearby. Both of my brothers and their wives and their children live within 5 minutes walking. But I also love how many young families and young children there are in general. What I also love about Greensboro is it's kind of this balance between a big city and a small town. You have accessibility to everything like airports and restaurants and art and shopping, but it still feels small. There's not a lot of traffic, it's not crowded, so you get this beautiful balanced life.
So Alejandra, I came back to Greensboro to lead this office for arts and culture for Greensboro. What's your favorite part about arts and culture or the creative community in Greensboro?
I grew up studying ballet at the Greensboro Ballet, so it goes way, way back for me. So I think we have incredible institutions here for art. I think there's a lot of experimentation in Greensboro that people don't know about, and I'm excited to be here and get to discover it.
A thing I love about Greensboro is like all of the things that you would expect to find in a big city. My experience is that you can find them in Greensboro. So there's a great symphony, there's great theater, there's great dance. One of my favorite things in my work has been connecting with and exploring all the amazing artists, like the creative individuals that make this such a dynamic place.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Participatory Budgeting, or PB Greensboro, is seeking volunteers to help decide which projects should be considered to receive $500,000 in city funding. PB Greensboro is a democratic process where residents help determine how public funds are spent. Residents propose ideas, volunteer project advocates and facilitators develop those ideas into projects for the ballot, and residents age 14 and older vote on which idea to fund. Volunteer project advocates and lead project advocates will serve from April to July up to 5 hours per week. During in-person and online meetings with fellow community members and city staff, they will identify problems and needs in their city council district and develop full projects based on proposed ideas. Fully vetted projects will be presented to residents for possible funding in September. Access the volunteer form on the city's website and plan on attending the volunteer training at 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 24th via Zoom. For more information about volunteering, contact Leela Lewis at 336-373-2406. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Greensboro Fire Department. Applications are being accepted for Camp Spark. Campers will learn the value of leadership, teamwork, and the basics of firefighting from female firefighters. This is a free 4-day experience designed to introduce high school females to the fire department. The application window is open until Wednesday, June 15th, and the camp is limited to 20 participants. The registration form can be submitted online, by mail, or in person at 1514 North Church Street. Females in grades 9 to 12 are eligible to apply. The camp meets from July 11th to July 15th at the Fire Department Training Grounds on North Church Street. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro, and now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.